Welcome back to Ask Dr. Clarke. Today's topic is a very important and sensitive one. My wife was sexually abused as a child. This is a man who sent in a question. This is a very common problem, though seldom talked about in Christian circles. We're going to do it in today's Ask Dr. Clarke. 1 in 4 women, 1 in 4 have been sexually abused in childhood. 1 in 4. These women are, of course, dramatically affected by this sexual abuse, and so are their marriages. Now, before I get to today's question, remember that all my resources for marital crisis, because that's what we do, are on my website, davideclarkephd.com. That's Clarke with an E. My books, my I Don't Want a Divorce podcast, my YouTube channel, and my phone advice service. You can talk to me about your marital crisis. I'm doing a ton of phone advice sessions these days. In fact, that's most of my practice. Still see folks in my office here, but the phone has become something that God is using. In 45 minutes, I'll get the background and give you a plan of action moving forward. Probably sell you one of my books, and I'll give you clear steps of action. Now, also, I've mentioned this in the previous YouTube videos, but my brand new Dr. David E. Clarke Teaches Counseling video series is now available on my website. Again, davideclarkephd.com. 35 years of practical clinical experience. If you're a counselor on any level, I did this series for you. So you can go to the website and watch an introductory video and decide if you'd like to purchase that. And it's a reasonable price, those 13 videos, and there's a whole package that comes with it. Now, today's question. Dr. Clarke, this is, of course, a husband. My wife was sexually abused as a child by her stepfather. She has never had therapy for this problem. Most don't ever get therapy. They cope, they survive, they move on. In the last year, she is not doing well. And this is very common in 30s, 40s. It'll begin to really hit you and catch up with you. She's depressed, she's anxious, she's having flashbacks of the abuse, all very common and awful. And she is really struggling with the physical part of our relationship. Well, you know she is. Talk about triggers. What can we do? I like the fact that he said we, because it's going to be we. You heal together, not alone. Here's what I want you to do. You two need to find a therapist, female therapist, who can help your dear wife work through the abuse and heal. There is no substitute for this. Marriage counseling won't help you. This is her individual work. Needs to be a female, as I said. Needs to be a Christian, licensed, tons of experience with sexual abuse. She's not going to work with a man for obvious reasons, and nor should she. Safety with a woman. You both will attend the first session. You both need to feel comfortable with the therapist, all right, and confident in her abilities. And there's a click that she could even be a great therapist, but if you don't click, you don't go back. Your wife has to feel completely safe. Your wife will meet weekly with your therapist. The work will take 3 to 6 months, maybe longer. There are no shortcuts to this work. I'm not a fan of the eye movement stuff and the rapid, hey, 2 sessions, you're better. Not going to work. I'm just telling you. It seems to work. No, this is going to take months. All right? Take the time. Has to relive, has to build a relationship with a therapist, has to get through this, and it's going to take time. As her husband, you will be the main support person for your wife as she does her work in therapy. You're right there with her. Your wife needs to share with you all she does in her session. She'll go to a session, you pray before, you drop her off. You might, if she's okay with it, you might wait in the because some of these sessions are very difficult. If she wants you to, if she doesn't, fine. But if she wants you to wait for her in the waiting room, that's what you do. You drive her home, you pray afterward, you talk it through. That's how couples heal together. Now, if she has to take a couple of days before she's ready to process it with you, that's okay too, up to her. You listen to her, you empathize. You support her and you pray with her, as I've said. You are a team. You're going through this together. You're healing together. What we don't want is her seeing the therapist and doing all the work and you're like out of the loop and you don't know what's going on. That's not going to help your marriage. And of course, you need to suspend the physical part of your relationship as she does her work. Honey, don't even worry about it, because any kind of touching is going to be a trigger. You have to bite the bullet and be very kind and patient. Even if she's willing to continue, you say, honey, I don't think it's a good idea. In fact, it's not. It'll complicate her recovery. Once she's recovered, you'll be all right. As she heals with your love and support, you can gradually and only on her terms and time frame introduce the physical intimacy back into your relationship. You take it very slowly and always on her terms. You could be starting getting involved and she says, I can't, honey. I don't think I'm quite ready. The answer is always, that's fine. Low-key touching at first, massages, kissing. You're are we okay? How are we doing? Making out, foreplay, finally intercourse, very slow and gradual. No way to speed that up. If you'd like to support our ministry to spouses in crisis that are struggling, subscribe to this YouTube channel, my YouTube channel. Tap the like button. Leave a rating and a review. We're getting more and more ratings and reviews and subscribers, and we praise God for that. We're gaining influence, and we're helping more people. If you have a question for me, email it to me. David E. Clarke, PhD, that's Clarke with an E, David E. Clarke, PhD @gmail.com. I'll answer it. Now, one final thing. My new video series, Dr. David E. Clarke Teaches Counseling, is now available on my website, davideclarkephd.com. That's Clarke with an E. 35 years of clinical experience packed into these 13 videos. You also get a free 20-minute coaching session with me about the counseling that you're doing. You get the forms I have in my therapy. I use in my counseling practice here with the Blue Couch. You do not get the Blue Couch. You have to get your own Blue Couch. And there's just a tremendous package here. I think it'll make all the difference. You get my notes. I've written out my notes of the series. You get those too if you buy the package.